Today on the channel, the wrestling best ofs of 2025 continue, and today we got the sleeper WWE Mattel Elites of 2025, or call it number 20 through number 11.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with another best of 2025 video, and today we're celebrating the WWE Mattel Elite line, one of the biggest lines going in action figure, gosh, the last 15, 16 years at this point, I guess, but they've really ramped up production in the last couple of years with so many offshoot lines, as well as the regular Elite line on top of that. In today's video, we're going to celebrate some of that as we're going to count down number 20 to number 11, and then we'll have 1 through 10 in a separate video. Historically, I've always called this the sleeper elites, the ones that just missed the top 10, but we're doing an official countdown style this year, doing 20 through 11. And like I said, there'll be another video with the top 10. So check out both those videos, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. But of course, as usual, start at 20, work our way to number 11. Number 11 being my number 11th favorite in this video, in this case here. Once again, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below, and we can both be 100% right. How about that? So without further ado, let's kick off the countdown. Number 20. We kick off the countdown at number 20, and in a lot of ways, this one is a little bit disappointing. As I had high hopes for this figure, I was hoping it would be the number 1 selection. I guess you could say that about every figure, but this one I truly thought would be one of the top performers in the countdown for the year. Unfortunately, landed at number 20, an up and down year from Mattel from some of their other lines with this performer. Who is it? Well, it is the greatest of all time. It is the Ultimate Warrior Elite Target Hall of Champions exclusive from the Hall of Champions 4-pack. A fun idea, that 4-pack. Some people scratch their head, myself included, on maybe the character selection, and I feel like they could have done a multiple box set tiered through that history of WWE Champions. I think that would have been a lot funner. Is what it is, but I've been wanting this warrior for a heck of a long time. This is the old homage, Todd McFarlane on the couch? Maybe, maybe not, but this is the homage, once again, to, of course, the Ultimate Warrior Hasbro Series 1 once upon a time. This is a very iconic look for the Ultimate Warrior. A lot of us collectors think of this when we close our eyes as the Ultimate Warrior, so we wanted this one to be perfect. And hey, we got the title belt, love to see that. Got the tan, ooh, that hot dog tan, we love to see that. We got all the neon, the 90s, late 80s coloring, we got all that. It's the head sculpt on this one that dialed it back for us. So really a bummer on the head sculpt. Would love to see this redone, maybe in an Ultimate in the future with maybe a little bit better head sculpt for this. All in all, it's still great to get a warrior, especially an iconic warrior. Just missed the mark in the head sculpt department, but still good enough to make the top 20. We've hit number 19, and number 19, we got some new blood in the Elite line this year. You guys know me, I always love one of those first-timers in the line, and there isn't much bigger than this one, as this guy is going to be making some big moves on Raw, it looks like, but who knows, maybe SmackDown, but possibly Raw. Who are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about the former NXT champion. We're talking about Oba Femi coming in at number 19. Have to imagine we have better Obas in the future, but they dialed it in really strong on the first attempt here for Oba Femi. We also got a main event figure this year of Oba Femi, but I like the extra attention to details around the boots. You got his necklace. This did come with the North American title, so they're a little bit out of date with Oba Femi, but it still definitely works. Good head sculpt, good body build on him. Can't wait to see where he goes in 2026, as I have to think we'll see another Elite of him before you know it. So Oba Femi comes in at number 19. Number 18 selection comes from the performer that I think had the most WWE figures in 2025. I'm just going off my head and my gut on this one. Somebody feel free to fact check it. But have to think he got the most figures this year. And this is easily one of my favorite ones. And it was a ringside collectible exclusive. So use code Kyle, save yourself 10%. But it is our friend Pharaoh and Cody Rhodes. Once again, the ringside collectible exclusive. A fun figure here. Now, a lot of paint by numbers on Cody. We've talked about that all year long. There's about 2, sometimes 3 head sculpts they kind of juggle between all the different toy lines. We get the same body reuse after reuse. You just get the different tight colors on him. But this one felt special. You got the American flag. You're reenacting that shirt from him chasing the title. You got his dog, Pharaoh. You know I'm here for that. It'll be interesting to see if they get Pharaoh out again in maybe an Ultimate or some other way in the future. There's just a lot of extras with this one that helps carry this Cody above some of the other Codys. And like I said, a lot of the Codys feel kind of same old, same old. I totally get it. That's the way of the world. That's the way you got to do it with Mattel. It is a business after all. But out of all the Codys, this one really stood out for me. And that's why he comes in, number 18. Moving on to the number 17 selection. As I said before, I'm a sucker for a first time in the line and also a last time in the line. But first time in the line, this one, a performer that's been around quite a few years, but finally got to the main roster in 2025. Who are we talking about? Well, we're going to the first time in the line. We got the mask. We got Joe Gacy from the Wyatt Sick, of course. And we're going to see some more of those in a 3-pack from Walmart here in the next month or so. So be on the lookout for that review. We'll finally have the whole team here at the table. Can't wait. You know me, I love completing teams. And Joe Gacy, a big part of that from his NXT run. He never got a figure out of that one. The old tree, what was that? Gosh, I already forgot what that faction's name was. Gosh, it seems like a lifetime ago. But Ava was a star of that one. You remember that? But he definitely had quite the run, of course, in NXT with a few different gimmicks, but apparently really shining here as Huskus the Pig Boy, Joe Gacy, current tag team champion, as we also know. So very cool. First time in the line coming in at number 17. Countdown rolls on with a late edition from the last wave we unboxed on the channel in 2025. Now, once again, I unboxed it in 2025. It counts for a 2025 countdown, and that's where we're at right here, as this comes from Elite 123. Who are we diving into? Well, we got the great Khali. No longer a Build-A-Figure, now just a traditional figure. And kudos to Mattel for righting a wrong very quickly. I had a lot of complaints about that Build-A-Figure, as others did as well, I would assume. And they did make it better with this Khali. Very crazy to see the 2 height differences between the 2. This one, I will say, maybe a hair tall in all actuality, but I'd rather have bigger than smaller, that's for sure. And this one stands out, very plain. We do get the title belt. We do get the Khali on the title belt, which is really cool. Not sure we ever need another great Khali. I think for a lot of people, this is all they need as representation, but it is almost the absolute perfect great Khali here from Mattel at the very end of 2025, just sneaking into the countdown at number 16. We've hit the halfway point in the Sleeper Elite countdowns of 2025. You got your list together, put it in the comments down below. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and my other YouTube channel. We got videos every single day for you. We got a ton of countdowns as we close off 2025 and into 2026, celebrating everything in action figures from a guy that basically unboxed them all. There you go. But here we are at number 15. And number 15, maybe one of the most anticipated Mattel figures of 2025. This one sold very well. A lot of people hunting this one down. This guy started off 2025 extremely hot. Unfortunately, ended 2025 out with injury, kind of lost in the shuffle. Hopefully, he comes back strong in 2026. We're talking about one Jacob Fatu, first time in the line, and for sure, as we saw in 2025, not last time in the line. So it's been a while since we've had a newcomer that people were so jazzed and excited for getting their first figure. So that was really special. That was pretty cool to see. We have since got top picks, main events. We got an Ultimate with the ring, as we did know, which might be on another list on this channel. Check that video out. But very cool to get Jacob Fatu. Have to imagine we got a lot more to come in the future, but we'll always remember the first, and that's the one that comes in at number 15. Number 14 selection comes to us from this year's WrestleMania line. We get a lot of good looks of WrestleMania past, and one performer we get a lot of. His name is Cody Rhodes, but this time with a plot twist, they gave us something a little extra special. They threw it back to his Stardust days, and I'm pretty excited for this Stardust. The orange and black attack looking good. You had me at face paint, Cody. Absolutely love the idea of this one. Love that we got this in the WrestleMania line. As I said, we get so many Codys. When we get something different, like you throw in Pharaoh or you throw him back to his old gimmick of Stardust, it feels a little bit more special, and that's where we were this year with this WrestleMania Stardust. Really like this one. Really pops on the shelf. An all-around good figure. Coming in at number 14, the WrestleMania Elite Stardust. We have a fitting figure here for unlucky number 13, and no, it's not Taz, Todd McFarlane. Number 13, we got another first time in the line, kind of, and we talked about that in the unboxing of this figure. Where are we going, number 13? We're going back to the Wyatt family. We're going to Dexter Lumis. You had me at creepy vulture mask. That's what you did. Love the mask, and then I love the head sculpt on this one as well. Looks very, very good. We did have kind of, like I said, a basic once upon a time, but different gimmick, totally different. I count this as the first time in the line. Do what you want to do with the way you do it, but really like this one. Love the figures here. Love Joe Gacy as well. Of course, Uncle Howdy in another list on this channel. Very cool to be able to complete this team. Can't wait to do it in early 2026. And a pivotal one comes in at number 13 in one Dexter Lumis. Getting to the end of this countdown, but it carries on into another video, so make sure you subscribe, as I said. But the number 12 selection, a figure so nice, I bought it twice. However, I'm thinking about thrice. I'm waiting for a deal over there with our friends at Ringside, as it is a Ringside exclusive. And we're going to the man, the myth, the legend, the Olympic champion, Kurt Angle. I had to buy multiples of this one here. So cool, such a moment in time, and I always love it. This is what defining moments are for me. Sometimes it feels like we just get random guys from a recent pay-per-view. It's when you go back and you see stuff like this that you remember for a long time. Of course, his match with Edge. You got the bald Kurt Angle. I guess you got the toupee, and then you got the bald one here. There's also a third head, which is the regular, before the match started there. So I'm thinking about completing the trifecta and having all three on display. Different hands, different heads, make them as different as possible. It would be pretty darn cool, I think. But like I said, I'm waiting for a little bit of a sale over there at Ringside. Hopefully that day comes sooner rather than later. But I really enjoyed this defining moments Kurt Angle. Like I said, a figure so nice I had to buy it twice, and I may even get it thrice. We'll see what happens. But now we got one left in this countdown. Who's number 11? Well, stay tuned. We're finishing the end of the countdown here at number 11 in my top sleeper elites, or the top 20 through 11 elites, whatever you officially want to call it for yourself. But this one here at number 11 will be the top one of this countdown. As I said, I'll have another countdown with the number 1 through 10 selections. Check that out. Subscribe to the channel. But I talk about it all the time on the channel, how I love this figure now, but 6 months later, it might change. 6 hours later, it might change, in all honesty. And this is one that's an interesting one. Is I think if you would ask me 6 months ago, oh, that's probably the elite of the year. But a lot of things change. You marinate with a figure, you see a figure, you compare it to maybe other figures this guy had this year, maybe in Ultimate lines, main event, retro lines, whatever it may be. And then maybe some other guys move and shake and dance around a little bit. And that's where we saw with this one here. Have to imagine it's at least in top 20 for almost everybody, maybe top 10 for most, and I would never fault anybody for it. Where are we at number 11? Where are we at the top of this countdown? Where we're going to target? We're going to the Great Muta. Of course, a more modern Great Muta is what we call this one here. A very awesome figure, an amazing head sculpt. Once again, a figure so nice I had to buy it twice. Got a second one on clearance to display him in his wrestling gear. This one displayed, of course, in his pre-match regalia right here. But amazing figure, just narrowly missing the top 10, and we'll explain that in the top 10 a little bit. But absolutely love this figure from the jump. Still a hallmark, still an amazing figure in my collection. Unfortunately, or fortunately, still, it's pretty good. We had how many elites this year? I should look these things up, Todd McFarlane. We probably had 250 elites this year, and to be number 11, that's a pretty good accomplishment, I would say. And that's where Great Muta lands here as we finish off this list, the sleeper elites of 2025. Once again, get your list together, put your sleeper elites in this comment, or put it 20 through 11, whatever you want to do. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As I said, I got a lot of countdown videos on the channel as we end 2025 and begin 2026. And we're going to have the big one, the top 10 elites, to come. So be ready for that. And of course, Sir Paul64 is where you're going to find me over on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, where my wife Angie and I every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, video cast on YouTube, break it all down and check out some other things along the way. A good time had by all each and every week. Check it out if you haven't already. And don't forget Patreon, YouTube channel memberships for even more content and to support the channel. So for the top sleeper elites of 2025, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
I'm solid gold. I've got the goods.